I'm here today at ENODA, who are based in Quarter Mile in Edinburgh, hearing about their really interesting and innovative solutions for a smarter grid that we'll need as we move forward with our energy solutions. So I'm here with both Anna and Guru, who've been trying to get me up to speed, and there's been a lot of technical detail. But I think, first of all, Guru, I was just wondering if you could just explain, just at a really high level term, what is it your solution enables? What does it let the grid do in our sort of renewables future?
Sure, thank you. There are a couple of things. One is we are developing technology from the ground up to address some of the key needs in the system. You know, the key needs for the consumers, which is mostly centered around the quality of the electrical signals. So it can be the quality of the voltage or quality of the harmonics and things like that. That makes it work really better for them in terms of their loads, whether it's EVs or heat pumps or whether it's their generation and so on. And then going up the chain, we make the system more effective and efficient for the distribution system itself by having continuous control of the key electrical signals in the distribution network. And as a group of exchanges, our technology can coordinate them and make these facilities available in the individual exchangers, aggregate them and provide a systemic service so that the system itself can be more efficient, can respond to changes, can respond to the difference in supply and demand,
Sure.
and balance the network itself. So it's a full solution for the whole transition of the energy ecosystem.
So it sounds like what you're talking about there is we know that we're lots more people with EVs.
Yep.
They might have solar panels. So this allows the grid to respond smartly. Well,
Yeah.
and will it also help in terms of, I think we all know that when you've got wind turbines, sometimes it blows hard and not so hard and so on. So does it help with that as well?
Yeah, so as a group of exchangers that we combine and aggregate the facilities of these exchangers and offer that as a service to the system operator. The system operator can call on us to balance the system during these periods where the wind is too much or too little, and therefore restore the frequency of the system, which is what they find care about.
And Anna, I mean, just from a system-wide perspective, what's sort of the key barriers in terms of getting this rolled out from a kind of a market and a regulatory landscape?
Yeah, sure. So I think, with the new government coming in, there's an opportunity to change energy policy and unlock different innovative solutions. So we need a government that accepts that in order to achieve the transition, we're going to need a whole suite of tools, toolbox full of different solutions, and the exchanger will be one of those. When we look at the system as a whole, in order to transition it, we don't just want to focus on generation targets, so a target for offshore wind, a target for solar. We also need to think about, do we have enough transmission lines? How do we ensure system stability in a high renewables penetration world? And so we need to be taking this systemic overview. That includes reforming the markets and making sure that there are markets that are easily accessible both to the established technologies, but also new players and new entrants, whether those are small innovative companies or whether that's innovation on the distribution network or by larger generators themselves.
So I mean, it strikes me, having visited here, this is sort of the smart grid that we've heard so much about being rolled out. And so it sounds to me like there's a bit of catching up to do, moving from kind of a very top down to one which is a bit more kind of dynamic in terms of the way the grid works. Is that a good way of summarising it? And please correct me.
That's a great way of summarising it. So the grid of the 20th century was based on predictable demand and centralised generation. And the grid of the 21st century is unpredictable demand, unpredictable generation, distributed technology, and needing to have a much deeper understanding of exactly what's happening on the network at all times. And that's something that system operators aren't necessarily prepared for because they don't necessarily have great visibility over the network. But devices like the Prime Exchanger, increased digitalization of the grid can help with that. Great.
Well, look, thank you both for tolerating my questions. I hope they weren't too simplistic, but it's been really fascinating to visit such an innovative and ambitious company based here in the Quarter Mile. What's clear is we need much more of this kind of innovation and much more of the investment required to really make good on our renewables potential and actually deliver the smart grid that we so badly need if we're going to see a transition to our renewables future.